Football Show is powered by the all-electric Chevy Silverado.
Welcome to the Pro Football Show presented by the Chevy Silverado. We are powered by the all-electric Chevy Silverado, the only EV worthy of the Silverado name and game changer. And Dan, I asked you this last week, but our new intro, you got to drive it, got to drive us around. How great does it feel?
Incredible truck. Incredible truck. I wish the commercial that we did to the intro lasted longer because it's one of those trucks you get in and you're like, can I have this right now?
Very comfortable.
Yes.
Just wanted to drive it more than just around the block. Yeah, and I was able to plug it in, and if I can plug it in, then anybody can. It's an easy vehicle to do. So check out the first ever all-electric Chevy Silverado. Visit Chevy.com to build your own Chevy Silverado or Silverado EV. Week 2 of the show, we have Taylor Lewan here. Yay. Welcome, Taylor.
Thank you, everybody, for having me.
Just like inside baseball before the show, everyone was yelling about college football. This is an NFL show, but there was a lot of takes being thrown around, a lot of anger, a lot of arguing, debate.
Some good takes out there. Some good takes out there.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
the boys
Taylor
are
is
back.
now Will. Will is now Taylor. They've done a Freaky Friday situation.
I wouldn't say I wouldn't put us up on.
By the way,
right now.
I see it being nice there, too, because we're about to go a different way.
I forgot.
We took the high road.
Yeah, he took the high road.
You got mentioned on PMT the other day. We had Thomas Hammock on,
Yeah.
NIU head coach.
Okay.
Do you know where he coached before that?
No.
He was running backs coach for the University of Wisconsin from 2010 to 2013. But vindication for Will Compton because he said,
This isn't going to be a good thing.
hold on. PFT brought up the game. And he said, he was like, there was a guy, Will Compton, on the Nebraska team. He's like, yeah, Thomas Hammock said, yeah, big hitter. We game planned to run away from him.
Oh.
Swear to God. He was
What
like,
else?
we were doing jet pass. We were doing sweeps because we knew that we didn't want to run at him. We wanted to run around him. Vindication. That was huge.
Should I trust that?
I swear to God. When PFT brought it up, I was like, oh, here we go. Because I've said my things about that, but
Yeah.
But he was like, no, he was a big hitter, and we wanted to run around him, so we tried to stay on the edges.
Okay, all right, I'll take that. I'll take the compliment.
They basically made the whole game plan.
Run
to
away
avoid
from
you.
51.
Yeah, right. Run away from 51.
That's pretty good.
You're going into your high school Hall of Fame?
No, they're going to put up a sign at the top of the bleachers.
Oh, that's sick.
So a little Will Compton honor
Nothing
night.
with the bathroom?
Nothing with the bathroom.
Okay.
It's
I'm
all
sure that
work in
sparked it,
progress.
though.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go and start recruiting.
Really similar
I'm gonna start
that-
scouting my spot. Like, hey, we might need to shape this one up to be a museum.
Yeah.
Or a secondary museum.
A secondary museum?
Or yours.
Do you think that I pushed them? Do you think they saw, and they're like, shit, we got to honor Will? Or has this been in the works?
No, it's been in the works for a little bit. It's been in the works for a little bit.
Yet, Taylor? Have you?
I have not. I got some business to take care of. I'm holding in that business so I can really enjoy it fully.
Guys are so.
He was
Have
taking
you
a
seen
piss
it?
earlier and was like,
No, I
gotta
have
take a
not,
shit.
but I'm
You're
definitely
not allowed
not.
to. No girls allowed.
Yeah.
I mean, Kate was in there, but I'm absolutely not going to go in there after you. Now, thank you for that visual.
It's a highlight giving anyone a tour and being like, and here's our museum. It's so fun.
So many people over the weekend was like, hey, congratulations on the museum. Are they showing it off? Like, can I get out there?
People were genuine about that too. Genuine.
I'm genuine about it. It's fucking great.
Some were saying Hall of Fame. Like, hey, congrats on the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
The museum is phenomenal. Not great for you though, Will.
No.
You went 3-12-1
Yep.
over the weekend.
Very bad
That's
bad
very
week
bad.
one. But
Very
DC
bad.
said it last week. Week one is like the preseason for Gamely. You kind of don't know what you're going to get. I felt a lot like the Colorado Buffalo in Memorial Stadium over the weekend. We got our shit pushed in, but it was a bad week one. Now we bounce back.
Okay, Dan, you went 9-6-1.
Yeah, not great, but
Not bad.
good enough.
Not
Yeah,
bad.
yeah. Listen, this is
win
week.
money.
Yeah, week one is important to get to a good start, but week two is where you really have to like refine what you're thinking because what happens is week one you have these preconceived notions going into the season. Week one happens, then you got to just be like, all right, it's 1 week. You can't just take everything you saw week one.
Can't drink your own Kool-Aid.
Right, like there was a year you guys played week one against the Cardinals, right?
Yep.
You went and won the game week two, right?
Yes.
There it is.
Yep.
So you're not as bad as you look in 1 week.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I would say specifically that week.
Correct.
Sometimes you have a really bad showing. Sometimes
Correct.
you have a 3-12 in one day.
And you can't be like, oh, that team just stinks now.
Yeah, or that player.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Right,
There's
right.
a lot more to it than just like,
because they're booing
Let's
him.
peel back the onion a little
Right.
bit, and let's make sure.
Right.
Let's give this
Right.
guy a second chance.
Right.
Yep.
Taylor,
That's
how-
one of the things I thought of when I said,
No.
I just thought
Oh yeah,
of
he
something.
was like writing things down when you were accusing
September
me of having the
2021.
yips.
Yeah.
Taylor, you went 40, 27, and 1 last year.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's
not so bad.
Was surprising when I saw this sheet.
Yes.
I really sometimes it's just throwing darts.
Yeah.
Just hoping for the best, and it's a gut feeling, which I think that's the attack I'm gonna take today.
Okay.
Not a whole lot of information, more just from the gut, from the sack.
These guys also are now in, because everyone should go tune in their gambling show. They're in the spot I've been in pretty much my whole career, where you get to like Thursday and you have to try to remember everything you
Yes.
said and
Yeah.
don't go against your own
Yes.
picks.
Which
Yeah.
is a perfect example is last week. Will's record on our gambling show, The Locker Room, was actually really good. He had the
I
highest
think I was 46%, but
Yeah.
Taylor was like, what did you pick differently? And I was like, I truly have no clue.
I have
Well, you
my
also
guys.
get
And it's like
Swayed.
unless you do the
Swayed on
smart thing
I
and
get-
just write it
I got
down, which
swayed
you never
easy.
do.
I have my guys send me everything I pick
That's smart.
because I know that otherwise I'll just be the asshole who's like, oh, this show I picked this way, this show I picked the other way.
Then you always get to win.
But you can't do that.
But Dan, also the problem is, Will get swayed by you a lot on this show.
I do.
And,
did
I mean,
lead you into
Dave
the
last week,
Panthers.
too.
That was a problem. That was on me.
Panthers, that was a crazy call. Delaney
Yeah.
said the same thing in locker room. I'm saying
Yeah,
to
that was.
myself,
Yeah.
I'll
that's
take
nuts.
onus for that one.
And I
also
ended up
Baltimore.
jumping ship to
The Ravens.
Cincinnati
Oh yeah.
for the pick 'em. Like I'm already dead in the survivor
Because you
pick.
followed
Yeah.
Dave on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just Dan and Jerry. Speaking of Jerry, how you doing?
Great, really good. Feel good. 65 hours into my liquid diet, so
Why are you doing that again? You
just
ate
a
some
reset.
cookies?
Just a reset.
Gotta reset. Gotta reset.
I binged out on cookies a couple nights ago, and I just felt so fat in the bed. And my girlfriend was like, "It's okay, like you're fine." I was like, "I'm not fine. I'm fat."
What kind of cookies we talking?
chocolate chip?
There's nothing.
Oh, standards.
There's
Yeah.
nothing worse.
But they were the big ones.
Oh,
6.
There's
Soft.
nothing worse than it's not feeling fat in the bed. Taylor, when you had to play in the NFL, you probably felt this because you had to keep on the weight. There's no worse feeling than waking up like full.
yeah.
Yes.
That's,
No, no,
that's
yeah,
a
in the
tough.
morning, you're like,
that's
I'm
a
not
tough
eating.
feeling.
Yeah.
Right now, you're like, how
Yeah.
did that happen?
Jerry, there was a time in my college career where I had to gain weight, and I would go to Pizza Hut in the afternoon and get the chicken Alfredo pizza or chicken Alfredo pasta, and then I would wake up at 3 a.m. I would eat it,
that
and then I would
sounds
go to
awful.
my 6 a.m. workout. A couple hours later, go back to sleep, and that's probably the worst feeling you can have. It's probably how you felt with the cookies.
Oh yeah. Well, my girlfriend, she's like 120 pounds.
Yeah.
So she's a little girl, and I was just, hair all over the chest, hair all over the body,
Yeah.
back hair in my underwear, and I was just sitting there like, She's like, babe, it's okay, just throw them. I'm like, I'm so fat, so fat.
She's also like super hot too.
Yeah, she's pretty. Yeah, she's an attractive girl. And I can't do this. This is a bad look for her.
Yeah.
So I just hit the liquid diet.
You're doing it for her. Doing it
Reset.
for her.
Yeah,
There you
You
go.
say liquid diet. We just talking water?
Water,
coffee?
Body Armor, Stella Blue. That's all I've been on.
Okay.
Love it. Yeah.
Body
How long
Armor
are you-
flavored Body Armor or just Body Armor the
the
water?
electrolytes one,
Okay.
and then the water.
How much longer are you gonna go?
8 p.m. tonight.
And then you're gonna have more
Done.
cookies?
I'm not even hungry right now.
Yeah.
Your body's just in shock.
I don't know what it's doing to
Russell
itself, but
Crowe.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You did a 40-day water fast.
What?
40 days?
Yes, Russell Crowe.
How is that possible?
I truly don't know.
Yeah, he just told me it changed his entire relationship
That's
with
in-
food. It's completely
Wow.
different.
Sounds very
Not the
fake.
show, not what we're going to break down today,
Yes,
but I
yeah.
want to put that little nugget in before you
crazy.
Yeah,
move
that's
It's a
forward.
pro cookie show.
Yeah.
Pro cookies, yes. Let's get to the storyline games of the week presented by the Chevy Silverado. We'll start with the Bucks at the Lions. Will, I'll start with you. The Lions are favored by 7.5. Both get a win last week. Obviously, people very high on Baker Mayfield in Tampa Bay. How are you feeling about this game?
I think you should be high on Baker. He looked good. I mean, their offense, they converted 70% on third down. I don't really know what Washington has as far as their defense. They didn't look that great. Jaden, he ran around a whole lot to kind of keep him alive. But as far as the Bucks go, Mike Evans, the dude is just ageless.
Yeah.
I mean, his first
Benjamin
touchdown
Button.
pass was incredible. The dude is like, he just shows.
He's gonna be a top. He might be like the top 4 receiver all time.
Yeah, bro, he's incredible. And I feel like their offense is a machine right now. Like, they were scoring at will. They're converting on third down. I feel like Baker Mayfield has that swagger he had from last year that he's continuing to have this year. It's going to be tough in Detroit. Detroit is a team that's built for 5 quarters. Like, you get in late with Detroit, and the way that their line of scrimmage was moving people at the end of the game, because the Rams are a good team. And when David Montgomery's just running at your face, and then you can have that creativity on the perimeter with Gibbs and what that offense does side to side, it's going to be tough. I like, with the points here, I like the Bucs plus 7.5. I feel like that's a big spread, and I feel like if that offense keeps it up, I like Baker Mayfield, man.
Dan, we know the Bucs are a little bit thin in their secondary with some injuries. How are you feeling?
That's the thing.
It's 3, right?
Yeah, they have a cluster injury in the secondary. They lost their starting corner, their backup corner, and Antoine Winfield, their starting safety, who's probably their best player on defense.
Levante David.
Levante David is still their best player?
Yeah, I still think he is.
Antoine Winfield is
He's a very good player. Yeah, he's
27
I wish this didn't go to a hook. I think I got it at 7 on advisors. I'm going to stick, though, with the Lions. Here's the big thing is Jameson Williams is, you saw his coming out party, so to speak. He had 125 yards, these big explosive plays. And more than Jameson Williams, it's going to be tough for them to defend him without their starting corner and their starting safety. Amon-Ra had a bad game for him. He had like 13 yards. He's the type of dude that's wired. If he has a bad game, a week 1, you're not like that. I think he's going to have a huge game. I'm going to take the Lions.
Taylor?
I love Baker Mayfield. I've been watching highlights of Baker Mayfield. I said in the car right over here, he might be my favorite player in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
And if he was a second-round pick, everyone loves Baker Mayfield.
That's true.
And I know the Cleveland Browns are absolutely killing themselves right now that he's not on that football team, but they played Washington. And Jaden Daniels is going to take some time to develop. That team is nowhere near put together. And the Lions are one of the best teams from a personnel standpoint, a coaching standpoint, and a strategy standpoint. I find it very hard to believe that the Lions don't run away with this one. I'm taking the Lions.
Let's go to Sunday Night Football. Dan, your Chicago Bears at the Texans. The Texans favored by 6. First of all, I know that Caleb Williams didn't have a great game last week.
He was bad.
But they still got the W.
Apologizing for 1-0.
No,
No,
not
not
apologizing
yet.
for 1-0.
No.
These two guys on my left and right separately texted me during the game trying to talk shit.
Nope.
That's not very nice.
I was trying to talk ball with a friend.
Play 4 quarters. Play 4 quarters.
Play 4
They thought they
quarters,
only
yeah.
played 2 quarters. Yeah, look, that was not a good game from Caleb Williams. He was not good. I'm not going to make excuses. I'm not going to pretend that he was good. I do think that the Bears' defense is very legit. What they finished last year with, they look like that on Sunday against the Titans. Obviously, I'm going to take the Bears, but I also want to try to figure out a way to make a point for the Bears. My big point for the Bears is going to be that against the Titans, T'Vondre Sweat, awesome.
Very good. They call him cornbread.
The middle of the line, absolute monster. He was abusing the Bears center, Shelton.
Oof.
Bad.
Said his name, though. I just felt bad for him when he said his name.
Coleman Shelton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think his name. Is that his name?
Shelton, yeah. What is it? Is that?
He thinks you're trying to Tank Dell him again.
No, I'm not. That is his name. I don't know. I think we're still trying to figure out
I really
fine.
am.
But here's the big point. The Texans have dudes everywhere. Where they don't have dudes is the middle of their defensive line. I think that what that matchup was for the Titans, where you saw it, like the pressure up the middle was giving Caleb Williams fits. I don't think it's going to be as bad as it was on Sunday. I think the Bears will cover this game. Will they win? I don't know. Defending the Texans is totally different than defending the Tennessee Titans, but I'm taking the Bears anyway. I was just trying to give you a point. I think they're going to have a better job blocking the Texans than they did the Titans on Sunday.
Taylor, what do you think?
I think last week's game in Chicago, the Titans won the game and they lost the game in the second half, and the Bears happened to be there. It was Caleb Williams didn't have a great day.
Oh,
Anytime he threw the ball, I didn't see a lot of touch on the ball when he was throwing the ball over the middle at 5-10 yards. He's throwing absolute piss missiles at his boys, and they were inaccurate. I think he finds himself in a little better position. He kind of calms down. I'm sure his vibes are up here going into the game. But C.J. Stroud, Tank Dell, Stephon Diggs, the offense that they have is outstanding, and I think I'm not going to say anything bad about Caleb. I'm not going to say negative like egregiously bad things about Caleb because I've made a promise to Big Cat. However, I think the Texans mop the floor with the Bears.
What you said there at the beginning, you kind of made it sound like you want me to apologize for being 1-0. I'm not.
No.
I'm not going to.
I never thought that at all.
No, but you said like the Bears just happened to be there.
You guys were the Bears. All 52 of those guys watched a game that the Titans won then lost.
No. Just see, that makes me think you want me to apologize.
No, there should be no
Let me ask you a
apology.
question. Offense, defense, is there any other phase of a football game?
There's one more phase.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe block someone on punt return.
Maybe don't kick us one and give it to us.
Okay,
It's
that's Velus Jones, and Velus Jones has those issues, but we blocked a punt for a touchdown. We returned a pick six. Caleb Williams didn't make any mistakes.
Fourth quarter, 5.5 minutes left. Will Levis should have stepped up in the pocket, runs over to the left, and then throws a little muffin to the corner.
Three incredible field goal drives and an explosive 2-point conversion. I think the offense found something on that 2-point conversion. I do. I really do.
But you should never apologize for being.
No, I'm not.
Never apologize for what?
Never apologize. I'm not going to apologize.
That was kind of a nasty way to say it.
No, he wanted me to apologize. I will not apologize.
the Titans lost that game, and because of that, the Bears got a win.
I will not apologize.
You don't need to.
Yeah, but you want me to.
I don't.
They just happened to be there.
They were at the game.
Not gonna
The Titans played a game in Soldier Field.
Can I ask a question?
I like the Houston Texans -6. I think C.J. Stroud is the real deal, and then the continuity with this offense going from week 1 to week 2. They're not playing Will Levis. That offense needs to obviously develop.
No.
That
was just a shot for no reason.
Willie Mayo's new. That offense needs time to develop.
He said
it's a new offense. Now, Houston, they have experience with each other. I think they make a big jump from week 1 to week 2. I like Stroud a lot. I like this offense a lot. Joe Mixon touching the rock 30 times. They can beat you on the ground. They can beat you in the air. I think Houston.
This is also one of those games, watching the entire Colts-Texans game. I'm not a huge believer in Anthony Richardson. He's completed 9 passes. I know he had the incredible splash plays. There were guys running wide open that were, like, if he made a couple of those throws, the Colts win that game. There were some guys wide open.
Yeah, just like if you catch Colston, Loveland, and Stride, it's a totally different game between Michigan and Texas, like we were talking about.
I knew it would come back. I knew it would come back
and
somehow.
if we're going to play a fans and butts, I'll do the same. I'd like to. I'd like to as well.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It is an NFL show, but if you want to throw in anything about college, you're more than welcome to.
Thank you.
How do you feel about Dan's Chicago Bears, Jerry?
Caleb Williams didn't look good, but defense is good. Similar to the
Very
Steelers.
good.
You got a good
Can't play worse.
No, but I'm saying if the Steelers are in the same spot, I don't think our quarterbacks are good right now, but if you have a really good defense, you can win in the NFL.
Yeah, but you guys got Tomlin too.
But this is why I've said all offseason, and people laughed when I was like, hey, Caleb Williams is walking into the best situation a Chicago Bears quarterback has ever walked into. Part of that was because he has a defense. And I actually think that this guy, Caleb Williams, who played for USC, for Lincoln Riley, who never gave him any defensive help, I think that week 1 win is going to be huge for him, where he's finally on a team where he's like, I don't have to be a superhero. I have a full team with me. Think about it. His entire college career, he had to be a superhero because he knew that his defense would never back him up. Now he knows he's got a defense. He knows he's just got to make some plays and don't have to be crazy. Just get what's in front of you. I think guys are going to be more open. Bears are going to win.
And just protect the football. He didn't throw an interception or anything.
Correct.
So, right. So just protect the football.
So are you saying Bears money line?
I just said Bears are going to win, yeah.
All right.
You know he's always going to take the Bears.
Yeah, I'm always going to take the Bears.
You're always going to take Nebraska. He's always going to take Michigan. I'm always going to take A&M. That's just the way it is. That's the way it goes. All right, let's go to Jerry's Picking Zoo, presented by Stella Blue Coffee. Football season is back, and Stella Blue Coffee's new maple pumpkin pie and apple crumb cake blends are the ultimate game day companions, available in both ground coffee and K-Cup varieties. These seasonal flavors will hit seamlessly into your coffee routine, and every purchase helps save homeless pets. So grab your Stella Blue Coffee limited edition fall flavors today, StellaBlueCoffee.com, or on Amazon. Use promo code football to enjoy 20% off of any order over $25. StellaBlueCoffee.com. All right, Jerry. So the dog is back.
He's back. He won last week.
Osmo is back. Osmo is back.
Do you have a better one? Do you have a better video?
Yeah. We didn't. There was no attack.
Yeah, so for people last week that didn't know, Dave disavowed the entire segment because Osmo just did not like Jerry whatsoever.
Well, it was the suit.
It was Jerry's fault. Yeah. All right. So let's run the Picking Zoo.
All right, we're here. We're here. Week 2, Barstool Pro Football Show. Last week we had one mistake. This is not called Jerry's Petting Picks. This is called Jerry's Picking Zoo. Week 2, Lions. They covered last week. Thank you, Osmo. We appreciate that. Osmo is back. On record, I also want to mention this. Osmo's a rescue. He was on the street. He was not from a breeder. He was a rescue. He was homeless. Malisac took him in. Anyway, same concept this week. If he gets it right, he stays. If he doesn't get it right, he's out. For good, by the way. So, Osmo, we got another chance here. Be a good doggy. Go get your treat. He smells the treat.
Oh.
It's the Bengals. The Bengals this week. Osmo, good boy. That's a little jumpy. Osmo, good boy. Good boy. Bengals this week. We'll see if Osmo can stay. I hope he can stay because last week he made some money for us.
Good boy.
Good boy. He was super calm today. He's always calm,
You
but
didn't pet the dog, though.
Huh?
You didn't pet the dog?
No.
why not?
At the end, I went in for a possible pet, and I said I didn't want to.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, Taylor,
You had to cut the camera.
I don't know if
We
you
gotta
saw
edit
it,
that
but
out.
he was wearing a tiger costume. Jerry was last week, or a lion, or whatever, and Osmo did not.
It was not about that.
Was not about that. Was not
Hindsight's
a.
2020. We probably could look back at that and think that was probably not a good idea.
Yeah, it was not good. So the game of the week is presented by the Chevy Silverado. Osmo took the Bengals, but it's Bengals against the Chiefs. The Chiefs favored by 5. Taylor, I will start with you. The Chiefs get that big Thursday night win against Baltimore. The Bengals lose to the Patriots in just an absolute shocking game for most people. What do you think you're going to see out of these two teams?
Mini bye week for the Chiefs, right? They get the weekend off. I think that plays in their favor quite a bit. Bengals looked really bad last week. They didn't look good at all. And I think we're running into a situation where before the last time they played, Joe Burrow was 3-0 versus the Chiefs. The mayor comes out, all of Cincinnati comes out, calling it Burrowhead Stadium and all that. And then I really feel like it might turn into this thing where it's been 3 years since the Burrowhead comments and they still haven't beat the Chiefs. So I think, unfortunately, Cosmo or Osmo, the dog, whatever
Osmo.
back on the streets because I haven't taken the Chiefs. And I'm not saying that. I just watched the video and I'm relaying the message that Osmo is unfortunately going to be on the streets now.
Yeah, so he's back. Okay,
Yeah.
Dan?
Yeah, I'm with Taylor on this one. I'm worried about Joe Burrow. I know that he said his wrist wasn't affecting him, but if you watch that game, I don't know if it's the wrist. I don't know if it's he hasn't played live action football in whatever it is. It was halfway through last year. He was checking down a lot. I think he had the third highest throws to the sticks, meaning he wasn't pushing the ball downfield. There was a couple plays where Jamar Chase had one-on-one on the outside, and he wasn't even looking at him. He was just throwing it down. I think Joe Burrow will figure it out, but the Bengals have been slow starters, and until I see it, I'm gonna have to go against them. I still think they're gonna be a good team at the end of the season, but I'm with Taylor. The Chiefs, this is like a little extra something for them, and Joe Burrow didn't show me on Sunday that he's all the way back.
Will?
I'm fading Osmo as well. I think, too, with the Bengals, I feel like there are a lot of distractions.
Yes.
Like you got
Jamar Chase.
Trey Hendrickson wanted an extension. He hasn't been getting that. Their defense didn't look very good. T. Higgins with the hamstring. And also Trent Brown, you hear stuff with him amongst the line of scrimmage. Played with Trent Brown in Oakland. He's a guy who just doesn't – he's got all the ability. The dude is a monster, but he just doesn't seem like he cares. And I feel like when that stuff kind of infiltrates your locker room, it's a team that's been close in recent years, and it hasn't worked out and it hasn't happened for them. And I feel like the distractions that are happening right now can kind of start to rip the locker room apart a little bit, or have those distractions be at the forefront of everything going on with the Bengals versus football. And then also you're at Kansas City. You're playing against not only the Chiefs, but the referees as well. I like Kansas City -5.
Trent Brown, greatest tattoo ever.
Yes, he does have a
Absolutely.
he does have a fun tattoo.
It's a female sucking his dick on his arm.
Yeah.
And
It's like more of like
that's a fact.
it's like a pencil drawing. There's no depth to the tattoo at all.
Is it 2 females? I think it might be. I think he might be having a threesome on his arm.
I'm going to be honest. I thought that was like a Photoshop. That's a real
That's a
tattoo.
real tattoo.
Yeah.
No,
That
it's
is-
awesome.
Smallest head.
Yeah. Sorry, it is 2 women. Sorry.
Can I see
Apologies to Trent Brown. It's one kind of kissing his side and one
That's horrendous.
blowing him.
Yeah, we can get a graphic up.
Yeah. Anytime I see tattoos like that, I just assume they're photoshopped for the internet.
No, that's real.
That's
real.
I'm sure his mom is very proud.
Yeah, 2 girls at
Yeah.
once.
You bag two brothers.
That's fucking awesome.
That's a
Boys
bump
will be
every time I
boys.
see 'em.
Boys will be boys. Let's go to the Playbook Picks of the Week presented by DraftKings. Whatever you call a touchdown, one thing's for sure, touchdowns matter so much more at DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the NFL. And if you're ready to do a touchdown dance of your own, new DraftKings customers you bet $5, you get $250 in bonus bets instantly and 1 month of NFL Plus Premium. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, use promo code PRO, that's PRO, and new customers get $250 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 and get 1 month of NFL Plus Premium only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. So the way we do the playbook, Stan, whatever pick you want, whether it's personal, whether it's what you're seeing on the board. So where are you going this week?
I'm going with the gross one. I did the Panthers last week. That was bad. Hand up, that was bad. Mistake by me. Something about it. It's a gambler in me. I just like the grossest pick I can find. So I'm going to take the Packers +3 with Malik Willis. It's gross.
That is
crazy.
disgusting.
Yeah, that's why I like it. I'm happy you guys reacted that way.
You're not wrong about Anthony Richardson, like missing throws. He only completed 9, but Houston is still like a tough defense. They have guys on defense, and they took them, to the end of the game. What's up?
You said Houston?
Yeah,
they
last
played
week.
them
Last week.
Sorry.
They took Houston to the end of the game last week, and I just feel like, man, losing Jordan Love, like Malik Willis, his chances are about as good as Caitlyn Jenner generating breast milk.
Oh,
There is no
nice line.
How long have you been thinking about that?
I thought about it this morning, and I was excited to kind of say it. But seriously, Taylor, whether he wants to share an interaction with Malik or not, I just don't think he's going to have it figured out. He just got there a week to prepare.
All right,
There's no way, in my opinion, that they're going to be able to.
That's why I love it, because everyone's like, there's no way. That's one. Two, I do think there is something to be said about you have a chance. You have I guess they have one extra day because they got back from Brazil on Saturday. But Jordan Love's out. You can game plan with Malik Willis. It's not like Malik Willis is coming in at halftime and you're like, what the hell are we going to do? I think the Packers are going to run the ball a lot. You saw Joe Mixon have 160 yards against the Colts defense. Josh Jacobs, who, if you watch the first half of the game, you're like, Josh Jacobs looks slow. I think he had like 6 rushes for 4 yards in the first half. Second half against the Eagles, he had 80 yards. And he had a couple big chunk yard plays. So I think they're going to lean heavy on the run, and they're going to figure out a way. Matt LaFleur is a good coach. I think they're going to figure out a way to cover, possibly win this game.
Taylor?
I want to start off by saying I like Malik Willis. He's a good human being.
But?
Always has a smile on his face when you see him in the locker room. Guy doesn't really know ball.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Okay.
And I think if you're the Colts defense, you're stacking the box, you're bringing the safeties in, you're playing one-on-one on the outside, and that's how you're going to beat the Packers situation. And then on offense, you just run the ball, run the clock, make it a dirty game. The thing about Malik is when it comes to checks, cans, anything oppo, he has a tough time seeing safeties. He has a tough time seeing where blitzes are coming from. And Matt LaFleur running a very similar offense to what Arthur Smith ran in Tennessee. I don't see LaFleur making such a dramatic change where it's like, hey, we're doing day one installs for this guy. So I think it's an ugly pick. Hopefully you have the grace of everyone going against you, and that's why you win.
That's kind of what it is.
Yeah, but I think the Colts handle business here.
So the boys are taking the Colts, and you're staying strong on the Packers.
Yeah, everyone's going to mark the Colts as a win. I don't know. I don't believe in Malik Willis long term, but in a one-game setting, if they can figure out a really good game plan, the Packers still have a lot of talent. So yeah, that's
you hated seeing Jordan Love go down. That was,
I hated it.
Yeah,
hated it. Happy he's okay.
I know.
Happy
When you
he'll be
showed
back
up at
soon.
the house in Ann Arbor the day after,
we don't root for injuries.
Yeah, you were very upset.
We never
about
root
that.
for injuries. Ever.
Okay, Will, your playbook pick?
I like Jacksonville. They came out strong against Miami. Their offense looked good. Trevor Lawrence seems to have it figured out a little bit more than he did last year. He seems to be in command of the offense more, making checks and everything else. They got a little sloppy against Miami. Miami came alive in the second half. But I think Jacksonville can be dangerous this year. And it seems like Deshaun Watson is just not the guy, the quarterback for the Browns. And I don't know where they go because he's guaranteed money. He's the second highest paid quarterback in the league. Now that Dak Prescott got the bag last week, but I don't see how Jacksonville doesn't beat the Browns pretty easily, especially at home.
Dan?
I agree with you. That Jags game, and I know like we do the ifs and buts, but the Jags had that game won. They were running in. Travis Etienne was running in to go up 24-7, fumbles at the goal line. Next play is an 80-yard touchdown to Tyreek Hill, and then the wheels fell off for the Jags. So that's one of those situations. If the Jags end up winning that game, what's this line? I don't know. Is it 3.5? Is it 4? I just think the Browns are just bad vibes all around. And Njoku's out now. Yeah, I'm with you. I have the Jags.
And two, like you know, with Deshaun Watson, you're more just like lining up and playing football. And what I mean by that is Miami, you got McDaniels. He's so creative offensively that it feels like Miami's going to get to line up and play, and they got some dogs on defense to where they set the tone when they take the field. David Long Jr., I've referred to him before.
Stud.
Linebacker. You got Jalen. These guys have like chips on their shoulder. I think they're going to be able to feast against Deshaun.
Taylor?
Yeah, I like that pick. I liked it so much that I actually had the same exact take as Will in our show we filmed yesterday, and this was a GBOT type of situation that I explained it as well, which is this exact segment. So, yeah, I'm fully on board with that. I feel like
Browns are just bad vibes.
Browns are bad.
I mean, no one likes
bad.
Deshaun Watson.
No.
I think we're a couple weeks away from Deshaun Watson.
You guys had a great take.
Phenomenal take.
Pardon my take.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, that he might be a better person than he is football player, because that's how bad he is at football now. He's a bad person.
Which is a
Very
great
bad
spin
person.
zone.
He's a bad person.
I absolutely love that. But the Jags, people have been expecting things from the Jags for so long. The last couple of years, them to be like this contender, and they just haven't done it. But this is not going to be a situation this week where they drop the ball.
Okay, Taylor, your playbook pick.
Yeah, my playbook pick. So I was going to take Cleveland and Jacksonville for the same reason I took it in the show we filmed yesterday. So I got caught off guard. My understanding of this is it's a GBOT situation. Get back on track.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
My pick is the Giants, and they're at the Washington Commanders, but my pick is actually the Commanders.
Oh.
The Commanders are going to win this game. Jaden Daniels, I think that franchise, when you see a player like Jaden Daniels, obviously everyone in the Washington Commanders, that fan base is looking at him as the next RG3. They want to see those steps. They want to see that sort of excitement. Giants are a shit show without Saquon Barkley there. They have no identity. I think Daniels, there was a stat that since he signed his big contract, he's thrown more touchdowns to the opposing team than his actual team. And I don't think that trend stops anytime soon. So I'm going with Washington Commanders.
Dan?
I'm going to take the Giants here, and that's what I said at the beginning of the week.
Love gross picks.
It's gross picks, and it's also you're not as bad. I think the Giants are not good. I think the Commanders' defense is just, it might be the worst defense in
A lot
the
of
league.
question marks on defense.
So I think the Giants are going to have a lot easier time going up against this Commanders' defense. And yeah, I hate this game. You know what I mean? This is not a game where you're like, I firmly believe this. I'm just going to think that the Giants, like the worst unit in this game is the Commanders' defense by a large margin. So that's why I'm taking the Giants.
Will?
I hate this game too. I'm just going to homer the old squad. Washington, I feel like Jaden kind of gets you out of situations a lot better than Daniel Jones does. And again, it was his first start last week. His eyes will slow down a little bit. You're hoping he throws the ball around versus running it everywhere. I'm just going to take the Commanders -1.5.
Okay, let's go to Fireball Rapid Fire Picks of the Week. So many things make football great, but you know what the best thing is? Kicking the living shit out of your rival, and there's absolutely no better feeling as an athlete or fan. And of course, this week we have Burrow versus Mahomes, and Fireball Whiskey is there to give you that spark to ignite that rivalry all season long. Will, if you wouldn't mind taking a shot of Fireball, grab your football buddy, buy around, and reignite the rivalry flame. Nothing like a good pre-noon shot of Fireball. Delicious. Warms you right up, right?
Yes, it does.
All right, the Fireball Rapid Fire Picks. I'm just going to throw the line out there. You guys, if you want to stop and talk about the game, more than welcome. Otherwise, just rapid fire through these bad boys. The Raiders at the Ravens. Will the Ravens -8.5?
I think Ravens get back on track, run a better operation. They played very bad against the Chiefs. And the Raiders, they lost Tyree Wilson, their first-round pick last year. I do think Crosby can expose the right side of that line of scrimmage with the Ravens, but I like Baltimore at home -8.5. I know it's a big spread, but it's going to be tough flying across the country.
Dan?
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you here. Antonio Pierce, I like him a lot, but that was one of the worst decisions. That was the worst decision, coaching decision on Sunday. Punting the ball down 6 with 5 minutes left on the Chargers 41. 4th and 1. Punts the ball, way too conservative. And the Ravens, they played a sloppy game against the Chiefs, and they were an inch away from potentially winning that game because Harbaugh was going for 2 there. I think the Ravens are going to be able to run the ball. I think they're going to get back on track. I'll take the Ravens.
Taylor?
I'm going to go with the Raiders. I think it's a GBOT game for them, not to win, but to cover. I think Max Crosby, his leadership, his ability to expose the right side of that offensive line, he's going to put them in a blender all day, making it very difficult. I also think the Ravens are in a very tough situation with their offense. Their identity is very all over the place with Derrick Henry, Lamar, under center, offset gun, those types of things, where I don't think they're going to figure out all those issues in week 2, and I think the Raiders cover this game.
I mean, Harbaugh came out and said Derrick Henry's not here to touch the ball 30 times a game. So it will be interesting.
Yeah, it was. I wonder if Derrick will play much then. I mean, then you got to give Derrick the ball 20 times a game
to get him warmed up.
Yeah. Or you got to do more things than just run the football when Derrick.
Right, you can't be so predictable.
Yeah.
Dan, the 49ers at the Vikings, the 49ers minus 5.5.
Yeah, I'm going to take the 49ers here. I said last week, Will, we talked about it, defensive coordinators, new systems. This is actually the reverse here for the 49ers. The big thing for Monday Night Football for me with the 49ers is their defense looked like they got their mojo back. They were flying around.
Warner.
Right. They were flying around. But so that was what last year with Steve Wilkes. He comes in. And there was a big, he's kind of the scapegoat in the Super Bowl. But there was moments like Bosa had those comments where they're not lining up correctly. They're not playing the type of 49ers defense they've been known to play. Sorensen, who's their defensive coordinator, is a new defensive coordinator, but he was there when D'Amico was there. I think he's got him back to playing 49ers defense. I'm going to take the Niners.
Taylor?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the 49ers as well. I think Sam Darnold had a good game last week, but...
Also, I forgot to mention Sam Darnold. Guess who knows how to game plan for Sam Darnold? He was on their team last year. They played against him in practice every week.
Who?
The 49ers.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's big. Yeah, that's
literally every time.
Well, actually, let me ask you guys: is that a thing? Like,
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I think they know the player and they felt really good about him being there. But
you don't think he knows his tendencies?
Yeah, but it's O'Connell. I mean, the tendencies are going against is O'Connell and Wes Phillips.
Of course,
you know what I mean?
But you at least know the player better than
right.
You know what the player's looking at. You know how he looks over at coverage.
Yeah, you know what his strengths and weaknesses are.
There's a place for that. 49ers. I think 49ers as a team. The best put together team in the NFL.
Will?
I think it's Niners, but man, something tells me that maybe O'Connell and Coach Phillips, they're the ones who can tap into the former first-round pick in Sam Darnold. I mean, you always got a shot when you got Justin Jefferson, but they played well. Sam played well last week in Flores. Like that defense came alive at the back half of the year last year, and it seems like they're building off of that. Vikings plus 5.5.
Okay.
I think if J.J. McCarthy was playing, they probably win.
But
just
Sam
because, yeah.
Maybe next year.
I don't like that pick at all, but I don't know.
Just want to be different?
I guess so.
Just feeling.
That's all right.
Feeling
I guess so.
I
with it.
Yeah. The Vikings.
Okay, Taylor, the Saints at the Cowboys minus 6.
Yeah, I think the Cowboys are going to win this one. Dak Prescott. Something to be said about a guy who signs the largest contract in NFL history for a player and goes out 24 hours later and plays a football game the way he did against the Browns. That mental fortitude. How hard is it to not sit there with a whole bunch of money laying all over your bed and be like, I'm the man.
Yeah.
And to be able to go out and do that. Cowboys historically play really well at home. Their defense plays really well. The Saints obviously put up a lot of points against the Panthers, but it was the Panthers.
Yeah.
It's an ugly pick for a reason. It ended up the way it did for a reason. I think the Cowboys take this one.
Dan?
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. Derek Carr had a ton of time against the Panthers. Panthers defense didn't give him any resistance. Derek Carr is a guy who, under pressure, is just a different guy, and that's what the Cowboys are going to do. Also, the Cowboys are just, they're the September and October champions every year. Especially at home.
Yeah.
So,
Dak's the MVP every year.
Always.
Yep.
All right, Will?
7 out of 8 games at home last year, all over 30 points. I agree with you. What they have 17 quarterback hits against the Browns last week.
Yeah.
I think they take advantage. There's 2 picks. That defense is going to go crazy at home. I love it.
I'm a little nervous about Jake Ferguson's injury because I do think he's very important.
Yes. What are we looking at injury-wise? Because he's on my fantasy team.
I think he might be. He's day to day.
Into the waiver wire.
Yeah.
I think they said he might try to play. He practiced with the group, the guys trying to come back. I don't know. That's a practice group.
Yeah. So he was limited.
Ferguson.
He was limited yesterday. Badger.
Yep. Barry Alvarez's grandson.
No shit.
Yep.
Fun fact.
That is a fun fact.
It is
Fun
a fun
fact.
fact.
Very
Let's
fun
get him out
fact.
there on the field. Because you're right, he is a big.
He's
a big part of that
important.
offense.
He's like one of those next up tight ends where it's like, I mean, he was very good last year, but he's one of those guys that, like, if he is healthy this year, we're going to be putting him in the Laporta, the Kelsey, the Kittle conversation.
Yeah, that's a big.
It's a big conversation.
Yeah.
All right, Will, the Chargers at the Panthers, the Chargers -6.
I think you got to go Chargers here, right?
Yeah.
Like it's the
Panthers
Panthers
bad.
are
They're
almost.
bad.
They got to blow up the franchise.
They're
They
bad.
got to. Well, you don't think so?
We should go to
I
31.
didn't say nothing.
What do you think?
I didn't say nothing.
You did something.
I did this.
He wants me to reel you back into the Panthers.
Yeah.
I
you
want
to go back in?
I want to take the Panthers.
Yo,
I know.
You want to
I
go
know
against
how you
Harbaugh?
No, I don't. That's the thing. I
I'm
want
taking-
to take
yeah,
the Panthers.
I'm taking the Chargers.
I want to
-6.
take the Panthers, but I
Jerry
can't.
really wants you to take the
I do. I want to take them.
Do it for
And
Jerry.
it would make sense to take the Panthers here because this is the week 1 to week 2 thing.
Jerry's back
week
here going
one.
like, this is how he operates. Like, this is like, you have to do it for, you have to do it for Jerry.
Tempo.
It's the week 1 to week 2 thing. I'm going to take the Chargers though.
That Deontay Johnson though.
They just their offense. I mean, we saw it. Like Joe Alt and Rashawn Slater are just monsters on each end of the offensive line.
Yeah,
they,
Joe Alt
they
looked
shut
really good
down
against Max.
Crosby. Yeah,
Yeah.
like those guys in Harbaugh, man, I fucking love them. Did you see him get the game ball?
Yeah, give it to J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah, but did you see how excited he was?
Yeah.
like it was
Massive smile
It's
on
just,
his face.
And they're also like they're gonna stay out. I think they play the Steelers next
They
week.
do, yeah.
They're gonna stay out east. Harbaugh was like, we're just gonna be football this whole week. Like I don't know, just the vibe.
hotel.
He's just so happy
All
right now.
balls.
He's
The
so
vibes.
happy to be gone from Michigan with all the shit. He's like,
Whoa, yeah,
hey.
maybe a little bit. Maybe a
I
little
mean,
bit.
listen, he got his national championship.
He got what he needed.
He doesn't need to deal with what's
I
If
would
you're
be-
Harbaugh, you want him to play well, but
Yeah.
you see how much you're missed. You
Yeah.
Michigan.
Yeah.
Like, that's a good feeling.
Sharon Moore's not the problem.
Yeah, I would take the Panthers. Congrats on him getting a contract finally.
Thank you.
The Panthers, I would take the Panthers under any other circumstance, but I think the Chargers are going to play man football and just shove it down their throat.
Yeah. I was nervous about the Harbaugh effect in year 1 with the Chargers. He is a very unique personality, very kind of tough to get behind. But the best thing to fix a culture is wins, and they got that last week. I think they continue it against a very bad Carolina Panthers team.
Dan, the Seahawks at the Patriots, the Seahawks -3.5.
Yeah, the half is what kills me here because I want to take the Seahawks. You know what? I'm going to take the Seahawks. The Seahawks should have won that game. They should have covered against the Broncos. That was one of the worst first halves I've ever seen. They got safety twice. They fumbled the punt return. They muffed a punt. They were just better than them, and you knew they were better than them. I think the big thing in this game, though, to me, is the Seahawks' defensive line is going to be a lot better than what the Bengals were, and that's going to give Jacoby Brissett some fits, and the Seahawks can run the ball, whereas the Bengals weren't able to run the ball. I think they're going to be able to run the ball. I think they're going to stop the run. That's the two keys to beating the Patriots. I'll take the Seahawks.
Taylor?
Seahawks.
Will?
I agree 1,000%. It's in the meetings this week, it's going to be not putting yourself in a bad situation, getting safety, starting fast. Like how can we get going early? I think the Seahawks.
Mike McDonald's a hell of a coach.
Yes,
Like his
yeah.
defensive plans are awesome.
All right, Taylor, Jets at the Titans, Jets -3.5. You going to go against the Titans?
Let me ask a question before you give it.
Please, anything to make this go longer.
Now, this guy went and took a shot at Will Levis, which I didn't appreciate.
That was not cool.
That wasn't like a shot. I'm just saying C.J. Stroud and Will Levis are different players right now.
What is Will Levis's mentals right now after Coach Callahan, who we all love here, after his comments of if we had just punted on first down, we probably would have won the game.
Probably not great.
Yeah.
Probably not a good feeling, especially his comment section in his last post on Instagram. Probably not great if he saw those.
Just stay away
Levis
from
is
that,
backed into a
always.
corner. Now, I will say, if football games were 30 minutes long, we're talking about Titans being contenders this year. We're talking about them being absolute contenders. Our defenses, they're salty. They get a lot of push in the middle.
That's
Got a lot of push in the
That's
middle.
why I'm taking the Titans.
Well, I get to pick first.
Okay.
And that's why I'm taking the Titans.
Nice.
Nice. Go ahead. Your turn.
Okay.
The biggest thing I saw from Aaron Rodgers is his arm is still Aaron Rodgers, but his mobility is not. And so pressure up the middle for a guy who's 41 and coming back from an Achilles.
And Snead on Wilson.
Yep.
That's a good feeling. Gives you a better feeling. Take out his number one target.
I don't know if, like, gun to head, I don't think the Titans win this game, but I think it's going to be a close game. And I think if you get 3 in a hook, take the Titans.
Will?
I like the Jets. Aaron said if you're going to jump off the ship, don't get back on. I don't want to do that yet. I think the defense is going to get after Tennessee. Look, they started fast against the Niners, but the Niners are just a machine on offense. I think the Jets' defense is still for real. And again, defending Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, Aaron Rodgers he's just building the chip on his shoulder. I like the Jets.
So the Jets' defense, the big issue with, like, it feels like watching that game that their entire defensive, maybe not their entire defensive plan, but the majority of their plan this season was Hassan Reddick being on the field and helping a lot with that pass rush because they didn't get anything.
Yeah.
Like, that was what was shocking to me is, like, they look like they could get blocked up front.
And what's wild to me, too, is it seems like nobody's had, when everybody answers about Reddick, nobody's talked to him.
No one's talked to him.
Yeah.
So that seems very far away.
Deal.
I think he's getting fined. Like,
Yeah, he is.
He forfeits his check.
Yeah. How much per game?
It's a lot.
I can't remember.
I think it was over $2 million throughout training camp. I mean, it might be like 800,000.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. Over $2
yeah.
million training camp.
I want to say all of training camp, him missing the offseason.
And it was like 800,000 a game?
Yeah, no, I think it's 800.
Which the thing is like if you don't like your contract, like you're taking money away from yourself. Even if you don't like it, you're not making anything.
Yeah, but a
Right.
man's got a code.
Yeah. At what cost?
At what cost? At what cost?
At what cost?
Some money, even if you
Guess
don't like it, is
my code's
better
not
than
the same.
zero
My
money.
code's
Yeah.
not the same.
Listen, he's not going to be as rich, but I'll respect him. That's worth something.
Yeah.
Some money is better than no money. Yeah, no.
It's literally not worth a thing.
Okay, well, the Rams at the Cardinals minus 1.5.
Me?
Yes.
Huh?
Your name is Will, correct?
Give me, I was kind of on the Rams yesterday, but they just lost Puka. They lost 4 starting offensive linemen.
It's bad.
I mean, if any coach can do it, it is McVay.
Yeah.
And the quarterback being Stafford. But Cardinals, they're frisky enough. Kyler can get himself out of bad situations. I don't think they're at a spot to where, they're blowing up internally yet. I like the Cardinals at home. I hate doing it. But, man, 4 starting offensive linemen. And Puka.
Yeah, they're signing guys off the street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dan?
They're in a bad spot.
Yeah.
They're in a bad spot.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Cardinals for the same reason. I really don't want to because Sean McVay does own the Cardinals, but, man, that's so many injuries.
So many injuries, especially 4 in the
You
offensive
don't
line.
like that?
Yeah.
My pick was the Rams on advisors.
How is that when you lose that many guys on the offensive line and you're like, now we're because it's a lot about continuity, right? Like
Massively about continuity.
And so
but
that's
it's also like you got to protect. If I'm McVay, I'm putting a lot of chips in early, getting the boys' confidence, 3-step drops, get the ball out of your hand, mix in some run game here and there. Sean McVay, though. Sean McVay is the man. You guys have said it. He owns the Cardinals. I grew up in Arizona, and I know how Arizona fans are. Mm-hmm. And I know that in the betting world, you kind of dish out a couple of points to teams when they're home. That's not going to happen. The Cardinals, the fan base is awful. The most fair weather.
Cortez, though. What about Cortez?
I don't know anything about Cortez.
You don't know Cortez?
No.
It's the dude who's
The high school?
No, there's a dude who's at every Cardinals game. He has an old school Cardinals. It looks like Rod Tidwell's helmet from Jerry Maguire, and it just has a piece of tape on the front that says Cortez.
Nice. There's also Cortez High School.
Full
beat them
path.
36-0 in
Never
2005.
seen Cortez.
How old is Cortez?
I got the Rams.
You like the Rams?
I'm taking the Rams. I just don't. I have any faith in the Cardinals.
Look at him.
Is this
You're
man
bringing
like
somebody who hasn't.
That's Cortez.
I love Cortez. I love
wearing
Cortez.
number
Tell me that guy's not a
69
fan?
too? Yeah,
That guy's not a
69.
fan?
Yeah,
Everyone's got their
he's-
5%.
Goes to every single game. Look at him. Look at it. That's Cortez. Every game.
The black uniforms.
He's got Cortez.
And does he always wear number 69 too?
Fucking love Cortez. Yeah, he always wears 69. He just looks like he could probably play offensive line.
Probably.
Cortez.
Yeah, he's going to be there. He's
The
going to
Rams
be ready to
probably
go.
called
Be ready to go.
Cortez. All right, Jerry, your Steelers at the Broncos. Steelers minus 2.5.
Yeah, line is a little weird. Seems like a little bit of a trap. Tomlin, road favorite. He doesn't really do well in those spots, but I'll give you 2 Tomlin stats.
Okay.
Mike Tomlin, 25-5 against rookie quarterbacks, which is really impressive. And what did I say last week, Kayce? It doesn't matter what the offense does. The Steelers' defense is so real. They showed that last week. Since 2021, the Steelers have given up less than 20 points 29 times, which is the most in the AFC. Defense wins. They're going to win this week. I'm taking a -2.5.
The Jerry stats, like every week, I have to believe him at this point.
So much conviction.
Oh, every week.
I love it, Jerry.
And some of them are just, I think those would probably be pretty easy to fact check, but Will, are you buying into Jerry stats?
Man, I, for whatever reason, like Bo Nix. Coach Payton trusts him to throw the ball over 40 times last week.
Why do you like Bo Nix?
Yeah. I don't know what it is. Anything
you
I've
liked him
read
at Oregon,
or
or
heard,
you just like him as a
Lanning
person?
was real high on him. They talk about his professionalism, everything else, to what Payton has said.
That's a red flag.
Why is that a red flag?
If you say, "Oh yeah, the professionalism of this quarterback," that's a red. I'd
And
rather have someone be like, "His arm's awesome."
And his college
But it's
coach
also-
said
hey,
good
listen,
things about him.
But
Are you saying that because your quarterback has got the least amount of professionalism?
I don't give a fuck about professionalism. What does professionalism have to do with playing quarterback?
I don't know. Tom Brady.
But he could throw.
He seems like a very heady cat. And what I mean by professionalism, he's carried himself like in that aura.
That's like these
say something
stories.
crazy.
This guy don't even know what he's saying.
Listen.
You're almost.
Listen. He was a coach's son, and he's somebody that was always carrying himself as a pro from a young age.
He stunk at Auburn. And
He didn't stink at Oregon.
Yeah, but to say that Dan Lanning said good things about him is crazy.
Dan Lanning's my guy.
I love Dan Lanning.
He says thank you. He opens doors for people.
He says
your daughter.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said I don't know what it is.
Can he play quarterback?
There's something about him. I think he can. And again, they got a scrappy defense. I like them at home. And I won't even say that.
I was actually
hold on. Make him say that. Make him say that.
No, we're not moving on. Because the way he said and.
No.
The way you said and.
Well, just go ahead.
Where's Russ at?
Say it again?
Where's Russ at?
Russ is, he won't be playing this week.
It's Jussie.
Jussie.
If the Steelers win, I think it brings up a big question. Do you stick with Justin Fields?
Yes.
Yeah, of course it does.
Should have been with him the whole time.
Correct.
I know the Russ stuff.
He's
I didn't know if
sussing for
Well, listen, if Russ was fully healthy this week, I would play him. If Justin Fields goes out and wins the game and they score one touchdown and don't look great on offense, I think they will go to Russ.
Yeah.
I'm actually happy Russ isn't starting this game because there's the revenge factor that I think would work against him where he's going to try to be a hero and beat Sean Payton. Now you have Justin Fields. I actually was torn 50-50 on this game, and then the minute Will said Bo Nix is professional,
Yes.
Okay.
I'm taking the Steelers.
Something about Bo Nix.
I was
him.
going to take the Broncos.
Yeah.
And then the whole
Professionalism.
His
Me versus
reason,
everyone.
I will
reason
take
was
the
he's
Steelers.
professional and Dan Lanning likes him.
Yeah, professionalism.
Sean Payton trusts him to throw it over 40 times a game. Says a lot of similarities with him and Drew Brees.
shouldn't have.
Gets the ball out, doesn't take a lot of sacks.
Well, he's going to take a lot of sacks this week. That's for sure.
They'll be getting the ball out fast. You have to.
Watt
TJ
is
Watt's
so-
a game changer.
TJ Watt is so good, the refs made mistakes. Like, the ref admitted that he screwed that up. TJ Watt is so good that the ref, he's too fast for the ref's eyeballs.
Wow.
Is he going to be?
That's happened.
It's got to make you feel good.
He had a strip sack.
Two strip sacks.
2 strip sacks.
TJ or JJ when it's all said and done?
Oh, TJ, he's on pace to blow his stuff out the water.
Okay, Monday Night Football, Taylor. The Falcons at the Eagles. The Eagles -6.5.
I'm going to take the Eagles.
Okay.
Kellen Moore coming in, giving Saquon Barkley the ball, him having the day he did. I think we just showed that Saquon just had a bad offensive line in front of him the entire time. He is still Saquon Barkley from Penn State. Falcons are good. That's what took me so long. I know they lost, but Kirk Cousins, I believe in the guy. I love the guy. The quarter high socks, his mentality, his professionalism is incredible.
Very
elite professional.
Elite professionalism. Talk about a guy you would
Elite.
let date your daughter. That's the kind of guy.
Professionalism.
That said, I was really worried about the Eagles going into last week's game because the way they ended last season and the way the Philly gets is they're just psychotic fans and will turn on a dime, and if it didn't go their way, it was going to be horrible, and they might lose a locker room. I think the Eagles are in a good place. They win this game.
Dan?
Yeah, I'm going to take the Eagles as well. I'm worried about Kirk Cousins' mobility, similar to Aaron Rodgers. Mid-30s, Achilles. He just looked like a sitting duck at times against that Steelers defense. I think the Steelers defense is better than the Eagles, but the Eagles' offense is going to be able to score a lot more.
Will?
That's his boy, Kirk.
Right, I know.
I like Kirk. I think it's going to take a little time. Like there's certain quarterbacks that I have circled right now that's like I'm going to give it a couple weeks. Kirk Cousins, Aaron Rodgers, Joe Burrow. Those are all guys that when it's all said and done, they're going to be good this year. But I don't know if it's happening week 2.
Give me the Falcons. Kirk, his professionalism is off the charts.
Yep.
He texted me about my hype speech for Colorado.
That's nice.
What'd he say?
He texted me a couple of, I don't want to say everything we said, but he texted me. Just know that he texted me.
Okay. Noted.
Yeah, and I think you're right. And one thing that the Falcons have to do is throw in some play action. They didn't do any play action. So defensively, when you're scheming and breaking down the film, obviously the sample size is only one game. But when you know, the back's dotted in the backfield and the quarterback's under center, you can pretty much bet right now that it's a 100% run. So if they can just mix in any type of play action, but that plays into he doesn't look good and he looks like a sitting duck and maybe he's not fully healthy, running around too much. I hate the pick, but I'm riding Falcons plus 6.5.
Very honorable of you.
And he could be healthy. It's also a mentality thing. Like, when you have an Achilles injury at his age, it might not be that he could be 100% technically, but it's like game speed, trusting yourself. You know what I mean?
Stepping in,
Right.
Yeah, nursing it a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay about it?
I mean, I don't feel that great.
I'm rooting for you this week. I need you back.
I know. I need to get
Well,
back
it's bad.
in. That was a very bad week.
It was a bad week.
Okay, let's move to the hot takes. So last week we did hot takes for the entire season. Let's go hot takes for week 2. Dan, do you want to start?
Yeah, I have a hot take.
What's your hot take?
I think Caleb Williams is going to throw for over 100 yards on Sunday night. He's never done it in his NFL career.
Hot take.
I think this is going to be the time. I got him so good last week with a hot take. Did you see it?
No, I didn't.
I said, hot take, the Chiefs are going to repeat. They're going to win the Super Bowl. And he's like, that's not a hot take. I was like, how many times has a team ever won 3 in a row?
What do you say?
He was like, I don't know. Like 0. That's a hot take.
It is a hot take.
I'm literally predicting history to happen. Will's like, I don't know what he even said.
Yeah.
It's so forgettable.
It is a hot take. Technically, it's a hot take.
Trying to
Yeah.
think of my hot take.
You don't have a hot take yet? Taylor, do you have a hot take?
Yeah, no.
No.
No, I don't have a
Dan is the only one with Jerry, you got a hot take?
I got a cold take.
What's your cold take?
I can't. No.
No, say it.
Go ahead,
cold
go ahead,
take.
go
Cold
ahead.
take, say it.
What about the
For
Steelers?
this show.
I know I took the Broncos, but my hot take will be if the Steelers win this game, Justin Fields will be the starting quarterback.
Okay.
going forward.
Oh,
Is that a hot take, though?
I don't agree with
I
that.
want to know what the cold take is.
Give us a cold take.
Cold take?
Yeah, give us
Whatever
the
your
cold
cold
take
take
you had.
was.
No, you have to. I'm telling you
on,
right now,
Jerry.
you have to. Yes, you do. Text it to me. Text it to me right now. Text me the cold
Why
take.
can't, what, is it like,
Text me
is
the
it
cold take.
advisory?
It's cold right now.
But like,
But
it
it
would be
won't
warm
be.
by Sunday or what? I have to know what this is.
Yeah.
I have to know.
Yeah.
I mean, Dan, do you have any predictions on what it could be?
I don't know. Oh. Okay, well, he spelled a word wrong here.
But
Well, you spelled one, W-O-N, as one, O-N-E. But is that a cold take or a hot
the
take?
cold take right now.
Okay, he said that looking back, he thinks Trump won the debate.
Cold
But he
take
spelled
right
it
now.
O-N-E.
The cold take now. But looking back on everything.
All right?
That's why he said not for this show. He said not for this show.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Taylor, do you have a hot take? Or would you like to
Yeah, I think if the Chargers are able to go 2-0, there's enough hardball juice to win the AFC West.
Ooh.
Oh!
Wow. That's a good
I
one.
still think the
Okay.
Chiefs are going to win the AFC
Okay.
West,
That took me a minute. I'm glad it was received well.
I do think
kinda like
I do think the Chargers are a playoff team.
Not if they lose Herbert.
Oh, don't.
He's right. He's right. No,
Taylor, I'm
he's
sure you
right.
heard about
I
this.
saw that. I saw
Not
that.
if they
He
lose
put
Herbert.
Right.
Dave's brain in a blender, and I
Oh
was watching
my
it happen,
God,
and
he
Dave was
did.
like, wait, hold
He's
on.
right.
Like, wait, he's out? He could be questioned. I was like, no, this is all hypothetical.
If
Yeah.
they lose Herbert, they're not as good. He's right.
And
He was
Broncos
told.
are spicy in the
Who's
West.
your
Yeah, no,
starting
they're not.
quarterback?
Spicy.
No, they're not.
Spicy.
All right, let's go to the Survivor Pool picks. And Will, you mentioned this earlier. You completely switched your pick to ride with Dave. You took
You're
the
out.
Bengals, so you're out. Dave is obviously out. Dan and Jerry are both still in. So Dan, would you like to go first? Or you want to let Jerry go first?
I'll take the Ravens.
Okay.
Love the
Pick.
Ravens.
Good pick, Dan.
I'm going with Jerry.
Jerry, you had a good pick. You picked the Vikings.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
It was sharp. Yeah.
It was
It's tough for
sharp,
me
yeah.
because I want to pick the Cowboys. I really do, but I want to save them. I'm going to pick the Chargers.
Chargers. Okay. And whoever wins gets a bonus bet from DraftKings.
So
So,
Dave didn't get it, so I don't get to pick one?
no, I mean, you can pick one if you
Well,
like.
It's all right.
Yours
It's
are
all
bad.
right.
What
I don't
was
know.
yours
I
are
would
bad?
have had to look through a little bit. And
Yeah, Dave
real
took
confident about one.
Dave took the Bengals against the Patriots and had a whole thing, and then Will just decided to do the same thing.
What was your pick?
Yeah, what was your original pick, Will?
The
It
Seahawks.
was the Seahawks.
Yeah. You listened to Dave instead of me.
Yeah.
That's tough.
What would your pick have been this week?
Jags.
Yeah.
Jags.
Yeah, I like the Jags.
Yeah, Jags.
I like the Jags.
That's the pick.
All right. Anything else, guys?
No. Great show.
Great show. Taylor, welcome back.
Glad to be back. Thank you.
Vibes are high.
Yeah, it was
Let me
fun.
know what you think about the museum.
I can't wait.
I got one built
Time
up
is
too.
ticking.
nice.
Let's
Yeah.
close the show.
Oh my God, you guys are so disgusting. We'll see you guys next week.
Fat dump. Fat dump.
Bro,
Here
stop.
we
Stop.
go.
Fat dumps only.
Stop.